What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about HyperLiquid today. Hype. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 19th day of December. We're talking about HyperLiquid again because there really is some fantastic opportunity here, especially with Polymarket, you guys. Again, the reason we're talking about HyperLiquid is not because I think HyperLiquid is the best investment right now, that it's even really that relevant, right? I just think that there's money to be made. That's all. And out of any video that I made yesterday, the video that I made for HyperLiquid was the only one that promoted anything from like a 2 to a 4x. We saw a 2 to 4x move yesterday because of what HyperLiquid did here. And I'm not talking about using leverage to short. I'm not talking about using leverage to pump or anything like that. I'm talking about Polymarket, right? Yesterday, right here, at this like basically the same time, we had a 11% chance for HyperLiquid to see a $20 price or lower by the end of this year. All HyperLiquid needs to do on this chart is get below $20 and then this hits. It doesn't need to be there by like closing the year out below $20. It just needs to hit that at all. And yesterday, oddly enough, we got as low, was it yesterday or today? Today we got as low as $22 on the Binance chart here. $22.18. Like 10% away from achieving this. 10% away of a drop from achieving this. We can see a 10% drop in one day. And the height that we saw was a 46% chance, 47% chance. If you were to buy down here, whenever I made that video, like around like 11, 12%, maybe you couldn't have bought at that moment. Maybe it was a 20% chance. Maybe that was the highest sell order. You just wanted to buy at the nearest sell order. You didn't want to wait or put your limit buys in and wait for that to get hit. You just wanted to get in. Even there, from 20%, from 12%, whatever, we pumped 40%, and now we're back down here, right? First and foremost, non-financial advice, not a financial advisor, but even if you bought yesterday at the time that I made that video, you'd still be in the green right now, even with the amount that we've come back down. We've come back down from like a 50% chance down here because HyperLiquid is now at 26 cents, or so it's 24.6 cents. I'm sorry, $24. $24.60. I don't know why I'm stuck in the centage form, but $24.60. Because it's pumping up today, because it's up 10%, the statistical probability went down. But I think a lot of people took notice of this because I've been looking at the order book, and the order book it's a little bit more dense. It's a little bit more well filled out than it has been. I think people are catching on to the opportunity here. And I genuinely do believe that a 24% chance being here is still really good. I mean, it's the 19th of December. We still have 11 days, 12 days left in this month. 12 days left before this can come to fruition. And I do believe that HyperLiquid's going to drop, right? In other words, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I do believe that we're going to see $20 or lower by the end of 2025. And from the current price of, let's say, 23.8 cents, if that's what you're able to buy, you know, you could buy 138 shares. Let's just say 100 shares. You could buy 100 shares for $23.80. And if HyperLiquid hits 20, that turns into $100, right? If you bet $100, which, what is that, like 500 shares? Probably like 480, 470? What is it, 400? I did my math wrong there. Okay, that's what it was. Let's do 410, 420. 420, baby, there we go. 420. If you did 420 shares, that's $100 right now. Oh, wait, no, that's the sell. I'm sorry, guys, I put it on the sell, that's why. 420 shares is worth $100 right now. You spend $100 to buy those shares, and you win $420. So 100 is like $420 if you believe that it can hit $20 by the end of the year. And so far, we haven't given you anything in this video to make you think that that's a possibility. But let's go over the charts, okay? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but just understand again. Yesterday, we made this video. We dropped 8%, and because of that 8% drop from where we originally were making the video, there was a 4x move in the percentage chance, right? So if you bought at that chance and then you sold at this chance, you could have 4x'd your money. Genuinely, that's how it works. You don't need, this is what I was saying yesterday, you don't even need to wait for this to happen. It doesn't need to hit 20 bucks. If you bought here, let's say at 23% chance or 24% chance, whatever the nearest order is, you bought here and you put a sell order in at 50% or 40%, you double your money. It doesn't even need to hit 20 bucks. It could go down to 22 bucks, $21 without ever actually achieving this bet, and you could still double your money on what would effectively be a less than 10% move. That's the power of prediction markets, you guys. And I am thinking about doing a series here. I'm probably going to do a series with prediction markets where once a week I make a bet. I look up what I think is a safe bet, let's say, or a good bet to make for whatever amount of time. And I'll probably do that once a week where I do like a Polymarket prediction video or something like that. And this one might be the one that starts it off, is I think this HyperLiquid drop here. If we're looking at this on the 1 hour, I want to zoom this out here. I'm sorry if I just got distracted. I heard my daughter screaming. So she wasn't screaming like in a bad way. Just I think she was probably yelling at my cats. She's 3, if that helps. And she's not mean to the cats. One of them is scared of her. The other one is like her best friend, but she gets loud sometimes. $24.6 right now, 1 hour time frame. This seems familiar, does it not? Doesn't this seem familiar? Do you guys know? Does it remind you of anything? Maybe I'm not looking at it right. Here we go. There we go. Does it seem familiar to you? It seems as if this is exactly like what we did here. You know what's weird about these two movements here? When we moved up, we didn't have a lot of volume. We didn't really have a lot of volume on the movement up here either, right? We didn't really have a lot of volume at all. But what we did was we moved sideways for a long time, right? And inevitably we did drop. The weird thing, whoops, oh no, stay on page. The weird thing is that this happened on Friday. This pump up happened here Thursday, Friday. And once Friday happened, what happens after Friday? It's the weekend, it's Saturday, Sunday, where there's no liquidity, where volume is very low. So we just moved sideways. Well, it's Friday right now. It's Friday right now, and we're already starting to move sideways, just like we did back here when we were starting to move sideways. I wouldn't be surprised at all if between now and Saturday, Sunday, we were moving sideways like this. With that, the thought of this comes into my head, is that we're going to only be getting closer to the end of the month. We're only going to be getting closer to the end of the month with that. We're not really going to move at all in price up or down. Therefore, the percentage chance probably goes down. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I would bet if you wait until Sunday to make a purchase on this, or you put your limit buy orders maybe a little bit lower than where they are here, I bet you could snag a good price. And then next week, indicators reset, we're ready to drop. And I do think that we're going to drop. And that drop could take us below 20 bucks. Understand, you guys, 20 bucks is not that far away. We're right here. That's it. It doesn't have to drop to 20. It could drop here. Imagine you're here on the 22nd of December. You're at $21 again. I mean, the statistical probability of going from 21 to 20 is not that hard, is it? You're going to see this is not going to be at 24%. It's going to be at like 50%, 80%, whatever, right? You don't have to wait for it to hit in order to make money. That's the whole thought. And that is not a big move. I'm not asking for the world here. From the current price down here, that's a 20, not even a 20% move. Let alone if we saw a slightly lower low, that's not even a 10% move. We're not asking for the world here to make what is incredible gains, honestly. Again, it's only gains as long as HyperLiquid doesn't do this. As long as that doesn't happen. I don't think it will. We're on Binance. We're on the Hype USDT chart, the highest volume liquidity available exchange to trade HyperLiquid. There's no volume pumping here. I mean, there's some volume. More volume on the dumps. No volume on the pumps, right? Here, there was no volume on the pump. What happened? You dropped. You went lower, right? You tried to pump here, no volume at all. But there was volume whenever you went down, so you went lower, right? A lot of volume there, but that was on a selling wick. That was on a scam wick there, a bull trap, if you will. 1 hour time frame, we look at these indicators. The RSI has rejected the overbought zone, and now you're bouncing off the 50. That's typically a good thing, but I'm not getting optimistic here, right? You actually did something very similar. Where was it right here? You rejected the overbought zone, bounced off the 50. And look, this is when you were moving sideways on Saturday, Sunday, over the weekend, like we could be doing here. The MACD is right here, right at the 0, a perfect area to reject. If we do go higher from here, we're setting up for bearish divergence on the MACD, on the RSI, and on the stochastics. I don't think that we're going to push higher. If we do push higher and the volume increases, that could be problematic. That could be problematic to this idea with the sub $20 level. We'll see. We'll see. Where I bought, I bought it at 12%. So I'm sitting on nice gains now, even with that. Thought about taking profits yesterday. Hindsight, of course, I wish I did. But I'm very confident that we do see $20 by the end of this year. So I'm waiting for that 100% payoff. $24.60 right now. We look at the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame here. Again, you're building volume as you're going down. This does not seem to me like this move is done. Right? Think of it like this, guys. We are kind of here in this consolidation range. We've only just begun to break out, right? Like, we probably have more to go. We probably do have more to go. Doesn't mean that we can't consolidate over time, but let's just say we consolidated even like this. Well, I guess that would be the 1st January. Then it would be late, right? If we consolidate like that, I guess that'd be a problem. But we could consolidate for a solid amount of time and still drop before the end of the year. That was the main thing that I was trying to draw. I didn't mean to keep drawing it here to where it did that. We didn't do this exact thing last time either. We actually saw lower prices in a shorter amount of time. But anyways, again, the point of this being you don't have to wait for it to be $20 for you to make money. You just have to wait for the percentage chance to go up. 4 hour time frame here, if we're looking at the RSI, lower lows, lower highs. It's bearish, guys. It's not a good look. It is actually pretty damn bearish. A little bit of a double bottom there, and that's where we got this bounce from. Coming up to the 50, that's nice, but your stochastics are bearish, your RSI is bearish, the MACD building bearish momentum. You're here where you could potentially get a false cross to the upside. It just all seems bad, and I don't think that it stops here. We look at Hype. If we look at this with its all-time history, Hype USD, and let's actually go, it's Hype H. Hype H is the all-time history chart. We look at this, and we take a low to a high. I mean, it really seems like we're falling off a cliff now. Typically what happens whenever you interact with the 382 like this, you can find support at the 0.5, and maybe that's what we're doing here. I'm not seeing that on the 1 hour. I'm not seeing that on the 4 hour. You can find support here, but most likely with this kind of reaction, what you're going to do is move down to the golden ratio. And also, the type of price action that we're experiencing, this rolling over. I said this, by the way, like a week ago. Whenever I made my first HyperLiquid video like a week ago, whenever I bought in at like 12%, that this rolling over typically promotes a stab down. Like you'll get a quick drop. You won't just continue to drop and then it rolls over and then you move up like this. No, you typically finish these rolling over points with a stab down, like a dramatic stab down. I wish I had another example of it, but I don't. But that's okay. And I was saying that here. We're seeing that stab now. It is completely possible, and something you should be aware of for the risk side of things, that this is the low, because we're at the 0.5. However, statistically speaking, I would say the probability is we go down here. And because we seem to be in that stab down phase, the end of the year is right here, right? Here's the 31st of December. I'm pretty confident we're going to see that happen. It's getting to crunch time. Golden ratio is at 19 bucks though. I think that we're going to see it happen. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. 4 hours sucks. 1 hour sucks. Daily time frame is sad. It's in shambles. You're building bearish momentum. You're not decaying in bearish momentum. Look at this, guys. You had bullish divergence forming here, and you got rid of it. Now you're forming, instead of bullish divergence playing out, now you're actually forming bearish convergence. You are perfectly bearish in this MACD, perfectly bearish on your RSI. Maybe we come up today. Maybe we close the next couple of days green even a little bit. We come up here, whatever. Still a lower high in the grand scheme of this RSI. We're getting near the low. We're getting near there. And Hype probably just as much opportunity as there is to make to the downside with Polymarket. Hype probably has a good opportunity to move up as well and see some sharp recovery there. But my expectation is we go down more, that we don't bounce here. I will accept defeat. I'm wrong if we're up at like 28 bucks again. If we get up to 28 bucks, then I'm wrong. Until then, I maintain the stance that I'm right. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.